Hello, it's Sadie. I wanted to do the part 2 of the video, Dark Truths, Spiritual Awakening, Intuition, and Ego. A couple things I left out of part 1. Number 1, your intuition, even as you're developing your intuition, even the best psychics in the world, there are going to be things that you are not allowed to know. So there are going to be things sometimes that we're not allowed to know, that we're not supposed to know information beforehand. Sometimes that's a struggle because when you start tuning in and tapping into your divine channel and your channels of information and your intuition and open up your psychic gifts, you get very comfortable and familiar with getting messages and having insight. But there are going to be things in life that you're not going to have insight about, that are purposely going to be blocked from your view. Okay, so that's something to understand and accept about intuition. Even though intuition is all-knowing, you as the human being in the human experience are not going to be all-knowing. The other thing I wanted to speak about intuition is that intuition will sometimes guide you to move in silence. Just because you know something doesn't mean you're meant to share it. The high priestess is the priestess of secrets. She's the priestess of ancient knowledge. Not everybody is ready for the information that is given. And so when you're using your intuition and really developing your intuition, sometimes you're going to be guided to say nothing, to not say anything, to not speak on what you know, to hold that information to yourself. Sometimes it's a thing of timing. Sometimes the person that you're relaying a message to is not ready for the information that you have. They're not ready to receive it. Other times you're meant to hold it to protect information about something. So understand that intuition will often work a lot of times where it has you move in silence or not share the knowledge that you possess. Again, with great knowledge comes great responsibility, and sometimes it is irresponsible to share everything that you know about a certain situation or a certain person. Okay? So intuition is subtle, usually. It's quiet. Intuition is the voice of the soul. It's the voice of God. It is non-local. Often intuition is very neutral. It's just information. It's you who ascribes value to it, or you who places judgment on it. You, when I'm saying you, I mean the mind, the ego. Intuition, though, true intuition is objective and it's observant. The mind, on the other hand, the ego, is loud. It's always vying for attention. It wants to be seen. It wants to be heard. It is the voice. The ego is the voice of the mind. It's the voice of the personality. It's your local self. So it's how you identify, race, culture, gender fluid, sexuality, all the boxes that you fill out on those surveys. Oftentimes that's the personality. It's not all of you. It's a part of you, but it's not all of you. So it's local and it's fixed. The ego is very attached. The ego gets attached, okay? And the ego is very opinionated. It's a know-it-all. It believes its opinions. It believes its belief systems. So its ideas are fixed. And that's why often intuition and ego can kind of clash. Or equally, sometimes we think we're getting an intuitive message, but really it's kind of our ego. And so it's important to use your discernment and to know the distinction between the two. Again, the reason why I wanted to make this video is because I get a lot of messages from people about readings and about their intuition and trusting their intuition and doubting their intuition. And the things I wanted to say about that quickly are the biggest blocks to intuition are fear and doubt. If you fear the messages that you're receiving, if you fear receiving a message, if you doubt the messages that you're receiving, you're literally putting up energetic blocks and saying, I can't handle receiving messages. I'm not ready to receive messages. Okay? So those things will block your intuition. Equally, when you are, how do I want to say this? When you are overly attached and overly fixated on a belief system or an idea, that will block your intuition too. Again, because the mind/ego is much louder than the intuition, it'll overpower the intuition. Okay? Part of the reason why I wanted to make this video too is because when you can understand the distinction between the two, it'll really help you to learn how to better work with your intuition for manifestations. Okay? Because intuition works in two ways. There is a transmission of energy, of information, of consciousness. And then there is an interpretation of that energy, of the consciousness, of the information that you're receiving. And so when you are wanting to manifest something, I'm going to use twin flames and divine union because it's a perfect example. And you're getting intuitive messages that union is happening and union's going to happen. Your person's going to reach out. Things are going to come back together. Things are going to come together. And you're getting confirmation externally from videos and all different kinds of other things in your environment that's showing you, that's giving you the confirmation of your intuition that union is going to take place. And then you start wondering and worrying and doubting and fearing and letting your mind get in the way of that process. Asking things like, why isn't it happening? And why aren't we there yet? And why aren't things moving forward? And so what you have to understand is that, like I said in the first video, intuition is a living thing. It's consciousness, it's energy. It is creation itself. It's part of creation because it's divine connection, right? And in that intuitive space, intuition is timeless, it's fluid, it's flexible, it's expansive, it's ever evolving. The issue that I see a lot of people have, and the thing that I wanted to bring through in this video specifically, is that to truly trust your intuition, you've got to not let your mind get in the way. Again, the ego is fixed. And because the ego is fixed, it wants to control. Intuition is source creator energy. It's the connection to source creator energy. It's the dialogue through source creator energy. And so there's no control. It's just, it is. Okay? When we try to control, when we're super attached, when we're super fixated on something, we're blocking it from being created. So the way Spirit was showing this to me or explaining it to me is, I remember when I first got into Law of Attraction, right? The Secret was the big thing, right? 2007, 2006, 2007, 2006. I remember, like, I saw The Secret video, watched the movie, and I was really working with the Law of Attraction a lot, right? And there's like, they use an example in The Secret, and I've heard it used many times in law of attraction and manifestation groups, that, you know, it's like putting your order to the universe, right? You're putting your order in the restaurant of the universe, and the universe is going to cook it up for you. And so how Spirit wanted me to explain intuition in this video is, so your mind is the one that's putting the order. I want this person, I want divine union, I want $1 billion, whatever, right? Your intuition is the one that's like transmitting the messages between you, the mind, you, the local you, and spirit, which is the cook in the kitchen. And so you've got to let the cook do their thing. You've got to let the cook not be interrupted. And so what Spirit was saying to me is like, you know, in The Secret, when they say ask, believe, receive, the secret sauce to receiving is believing, that middle part, the believe part. And when you trust your intuition, when you're truly in tune with your intuition and trusting your intuition, regardless of what the external world is showing you, or especially because the external world is continuously showing you confirmation and you can just trust the timing of it, you're in that space of believe, which is making it easier for you to receive. The problem is, and I'm going to say this bluntly, the mind fucks it up. The mind gets in the way. Kind of like what I was saying in the first video, the mind can interfere with your intuition. Because again, the mind is loud. It's vying for attention. It wants to be seen. It's the toddler in the back seat. Are we there yet? Where's my sippy cup? I want a toy. I'm tired. Blah, blah, blah. I gotta go to the bathroom. Like, the mind never shuts up unless you're doing meditation and you're doing active practices to quiet your mind, to balance your mind. That's why meditation for intuition is so important, because when you're not in that local self, when you're not in the mind, the chatter of the mind, the monkey mind, when you're not in the ego, when you're not in the personality, you're just still. You are fully embodied and connected to source. You are all that you are, because you're not so hyper fixated and focused on the personality and all the parts of the personality that are your thinking and cognitive mind. You're just in a space of being, because we are human beings. We are spiritual beings. We are beings. We are both beings, right? And so when you're in the space of being, when you're doing breath work, when you're meditating, you're in a space of being, which again allows the cook, the spirit, to do its work. It's not your work to know the when and the how and all the fucking ingredients and all that shit. If you put an order for a burger, just expect that you're gonna get a burger and be okay with that. Accept it, be okay with that, release it, calm down. Calm your mind down. Do not let your mind get in the way of the manifestation, okay? And so Spirit was saying it's important to be delusional enough that you have no fear and no doubt about that thing coming to you. But be detached enough that you're not even thinking about it. Which, that's the paradox, and that's the hard part, is you need to use your mind, but then you need to let your mind go. It's kind of like believe in the outcome, but let the outcome go simultaneously. And so for those of you who are struggling with trusting your intuition because you're not seeing the physical results, the reason why you're not seeing the physical results is your mind is getting in the way. Let spirit do its work. Be delusional enough to know that it's coming, that you have no doubt, that you have no fear, but be detached enough that you're not even thinking about it. Okay? Because the believe part is the secret sauce. And when you are in alignment with your intuition and you're truly trusting your intuition and you're letting your intuition lead and not your mind, you'll believe more. You'll trust more. And you'll see more results and more evidence of your belief, of your faith, of your trust. All right? So let go of the know-it-all ego. Step into your non-local self. Step into your spirit, which is the creator. Spirit is the creator. Step into that creation space. And just trust that everything you desire, everything that is for your best and highest good, everything that is for your divine fulfillment has already been created. It's just being cooked in the kitchen and you're about to receive it. Don't let your mind get in the way of that. Don't let your mind interfere with your intuition. Don't let the ego interfere with the spirit's work. All right. There may be a part 3. That's all I can think of for now for this. And sending love. I hope this video helped. Take care.